Hello, fellow YouTubers. This is Derek Duct Tape Man here. First, I'd like to say thank you for going to my channel and watching my videos. In this video here, I'm going to show you how to play the game chess, all the basics, which will be used for as a source material for the rest of the videos in this series. So I'll show you my chess set right now, already set up. So right here is my chess set. This is set up how you play chess. As you can see, black's up here, white's down here. As the chess colors, board squares, the white is always the right. So it'll be right here too. To the player's right will be the white board. So that's how it's set up here. And queen is on its color. So right here it is. So you set by a rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, bishop, knight, rook. That's how back one is set up. And front row is all pawns. And as you can see, the other side is like that too. So this is basically how you set up. In regulation, white is going first. So that's the setup. Now, first piece I'm going to talk about is a pawn. They always start in this row right here. Now, the first move, they always go forward. But the first move, they can move 2 spaces. Or they move 1 if they still prefer, or 2. And after that, they can only move 1 space forward. And also, what's unique about the pawn is they capture in the move way. They don't move. So if a piece is here, they go diagonally. So they can move diagonally to catch a piece. And so another special move they can have is right here. So if one pawn moves 2 spaces, if it's right next to the opposing pawn, only on the move after that can they move diagonally behind them like this and still capture. It's called en passant. So, and if a pawn makes it across, they can promote themselves to any other piece. Usually people promote them to queens. And sometimes they'll promote to a bishop, knight, or rook. There's your pawn. Next piece I want to discuss is the bishop. They move diagonal. So they always stay on the same color square they are on. Always. So you got one for the black square, one for the white square. And of course, if there's a piece here, they can move here and capture that piece. So sometimes if you work bishops together, you can really do damage to your opponent. So there's the bishop. The next piece is the knight. This is an interesting piece. Really unusual for the way it moves. They move 2 spaces in any direction, and then they move 1 space perpendicular. So if they move 2 spaces here, then they will either move here and here. The knight always lands on a square that's not currently on. They always land on the opposite square when they move. They're also the only piece that can jump over other pieces. So there's your knight. As you can see here, I forgot to mention that there's also a piece here that can also capture too. So there's your knight. The rook. The rook is a very powerful piece. They can move side to side or frontwards, backwards, and they can move any number of spaces. So, and there's also there's a piece here in a way they can capture that piece. So there's the rook. Now, the queen is the most powerful piece. A lot of people use their queen to do a lot of damage to their opponents. They can move here, 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 frontwards, backwards. So if there's a piece here in their way, they can capture that piece. So usually the queen is the most powerful piece here. Now the king can move one space any direction. Also, king can move anywhere or make any move as long as it does not put the king in check, which I'll get to that later. So and also can capture a piece too. As long as it's not in check, it can capture too. So there's your king. Also, there's a very special move the king can do. If not with the rook, if neither piece has move yet and it's all clear space, and here, here, and here is not check, the king can move two spaces towards the rook and move the rook here, and that can be a castling. So there's a castling right there. So right here, black has white in what's called check. That means the rook moved, and the next play is in line to take the king. That's called check. Now, when the king's in check, the king must do what it can to get out of check. So it can either move, like right here. It can either take the piece here, or it can have another piece take it, like here. As long as it's not check. So it must get out of check. Now, there's going to be a situation where the king's in check, but can't get out of check, like right here. It can't move, it can't take, or can't move pieces to block it. So that's called checkmate. That means that the game's over and the king lost. That king group lost, and the opposing team that checkmate the king wins. So in this case, white wins right here. It's checkmate. Now, there could be cases where the king is not in check, but cannot make a move without putting the king in check, like here. So as you see here, the king cannot move and is not in check. That's called a stalemate. In a situation like that, the game's considered a draw. That means neither side wins. So this is an example of a stalemate. So right here's the open sequence again. And sometimes there are ways, especially if chess masters play each other, that can have a potential game to get pointlessly boring. So there's some other ways that could end in a draw, like I think it's like 50 moves without a pawn move or a piece captured, or if a position repeats itself like 5 times, game's over, game's a draw. And also sometimes, if they figure the game's going to get boring, both parties can just agree to a draw. And sometimes that means both would tip their kings like this, say, we're going to draw, if both mutually agreed. But if a chess player, does not think he can win, and he knows he's going to lose, so sometimes he can just resign the match by tipping his king. That means he loses, the game's over. So right here is the chess match and chessboard pieces right here. I taught you how to play. Hello again. So now you know the basics of playing chess. Now you can play chess. Like I said, there's going to be source of material for some videos in this series as well. So this is it. Thank you for watching. This is Derek Duct Tape Man saying thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, like, notifications, get more videos of me. This is Derek Duct Tape Man saying see you later. Goodbye.